What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of the best team in FIFA. In the best team in FIFA guys, I take teams that you guys have a lot of fun with, play with them myself in Division 1 and then give you my honest review on the team. Last time I did a squad builder, it was a 10 million team. Some of you guys like that, but some people obviously can't afford that, so they want to see more affordable teams. So today's team, currently at the time of making this video, it's 181,000. When I first looked at the team, it was 157,000, hence the title. Probably by the time I upload it, the price will be different again because the price just kind of differs quite heavily based on the time of day. And because obviously 11 players, if they change by 2,000 or 3,000 throughout the day, that's 30,000 coins. Like that's where the extra 30k has come from right now. But I'm sure you'll be able to get this at a good time of the day, especially if there's some player packs out for 150,000 coins. So this was sent in by X2Kaz. It's a 4-3-2-1 as you can see, and when you see the gameplay, because I've actually already played the gameplay, because what I like to do is play the gameplay first to know if the team's worthy, because if it's just a crap team, I'm just not going to make the video at all, which means this team is obviously a decent team. But before when I first built the team, I completely forgot to put chem styles on, I completely forgot to do player instructions, and now because chemistry is actually working and relevant, it's a big impact when you don't put your chem styles and your player instructions on. So we'll go into the team, I'll show you the chem styles I ended on with, and then I'll show you the player instructions. In net, first of all guys, we have got Ruffier. A very cheap goalkeeper, you can pick him up for like 1,000 coins. It's the regular version of him. His team of the season card is ridiculous. Ruffier starts things off for us. In on the right back spot, we have got probably, arguably anyway, maybe not now because of Bellerin, but arguably the best right back, and definitely like one of the best right backs over the last 5 years of FIFA, and that's Kyle Walker. And then in the defensive third, we have got David Luiz as one of the centre backs, and these are all the regular versions, of course, so that we can fit this within the budget. And secondly, Thiago Silva. Now, Thiago Silva is like 9,000 coins on a good day, 10, 12,000 coins on a bad day, and he had them this side around. So David Luiz and Thiago Silva, a lot of pace there at centre back. Quite worried about the high work rates on all of the defenders, and including the fourth defender as well, which was David Alaba, the left back version, of course. That makes up the defense there, guys. So you can kind of have a guess at how the team's going to kind of progress from here. But Alaba, David Luiz, Thiago Silva, and Kyle Walker all have high attacking work rates, which I didn't really pay much attention to until after the first game. Actually, I didn't really realise, and that was kind of my bad. Next up into the team, guys, we have got Bayern player Thiago, and not a fan favourite of mine, but one of the reasons why I actually built this squad was for this player that we're going to be having here, and it's Dele Alli. Now, I haven't really used Dele Alli much. I never really got into using his team of the season, but his card looks great. 80 pace, 84 dribbling, 85 passing, 84 physical, 86 dribbling. I said dribbling for shooting, that's my bad. He's got high medium work rate, 6'2", 3-star for a CDM or for a centre mid defensive minded. Fantastic stuff. Like, he would have been great. But you could probably see by the fact that he only scored 1 goal in 4 games and got no assists. He was actually relatively disappointing, which we'll talk about more as we watch the gameplay. But he's so close to club 80. I thought, like, when I saw him in the team and looked at his stats, I thought, you know what? He might be fantastic to play with. Let's give it a shot. And then into the midfield is Chelsea midfielder Cesc Fabregas, 87 rated. I don't know how much he goes for, but 90 passing and 81 dribbling. Very nice stats for him. In at left forward, we've got one of a very few people that could actually fit there to make this whole team work, and that is Marco Royce, a fan favourite again. You don't really see Royce much these days, but he is just one of those players that's always been absolutely fantastic. In at right forward, we have got Cuadrado, the Chelsea version, of course, to give the stats and chem to Fabregas there, and Dele Alli. And then up front, last but not least, you could probably guess again who's going to be there, and it's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Instantly, when I looked at this team, I liked kind of the look of it. I love the 4-3-2-1. I didn't really pay much attention to the work rates, and we've got high attacking work rates on everybody with exception of Thiago and Cuadrado. So when I did play the gameplay, the fact that I didn't set my player instructions up properly was massively influential on the kind of the way the games went, which again we'll talk about a little bit more into the gameplay. Now, in terms of the player instructions, what I do is I've got my fullback to stay back while attacking, both centre backs to stay back while attacking, and the right back to stay back while attacking. I've got my central centre midfield to stay back while attacking. We've got Thiago as absolutely balanced. Everything is just as it is. Dele Alli exactly the same, balanced as it is. We've got Cuadrado. He shouldn't be as a target man. He should be getting behind and stay central. Maybe that's why I didn't do so much well with him, because I didn't have his stuff set up properly. And the same with Marco Royce, stay central and getting behind. And then Aubameyang is just balance width, balance attack. And the reason why I set it up like that is because I like my fullbacks to stay deep, because you can manually bring them up. And if you have your fullbacks bombing forwards, especially in a team with all these high attacking work rates, you're just going to leave yourself exposed quite quickly. The centre midfielders, the reason why I like the central centre midfield to stay back is because it kind of gives that just that third centre back kind of edge, like especially if you've got a powerhouse in there. Obviously Fabregas isn't the tallest, isn't the most powerful, doesn't have the best physicality, but just having the body that little bit deeper is like allows you to stop counter attacks a bit better, despite the fact that he might be small or might be slow or might be you know, not very good with the physical side of things. Just having the body there is relatively important. And then of course you want the attackers to get up and get in behind. So that is how the team was built up. Now you can see the chem styles. Basically, I tried to enhance the best attributes about the players. Kyle Walker is pace and defending because he's already got decent physical. Thiago Silva and David Luiz both with the anchor cards to improve that pace, defending and physical. And then Shadow again on Alaba for that pace and defending. I gave Maestro to Thiago, shooting, passing and dribbling, just his best attributes, just try and boost those. Fabregas, again, his best attributes, just tried to boost those, his passing, his dribbling. Dele Alli, we gave, again, his best attributes, shooting and dribbling, apart from the fact that he has got 85 passing. But I wanted to, like, I like my centre midfielders to be able to, like, because I usually use people like Benzema and Griezmann and Ronaldo and stuff in centre midfield, right? So I like the long cross body shots. So I wanted to improve his shooting for that. For Cuadrado, I gave him shooting and passing because he has pace and dribbling in spades. So there's absolutely no need to boost that any further, just because of the sheer fact that he has so much there. But his shooting and passing is quite weak for a midfielder, so I tried to improve that. And then Marco Royce, we gave him shooting and passing. Now I know he's already got 90 pace, but I really wanted that kind of blistering man. Cuadrado already has 93 pace. I wanted to boost Royce's pace to be up there with that, and then his shooting on top of that. And then Aubameyang again, I gave him sniper because his pace is already so exceptional. There's no need to boost it anymore. Shooting and dribbling, giving those boosts, and hopefully it will come good. So this is the team, guys. We're going to have 4 Division 1 games. We're going to see how it goes. Hopefully we can pick up some wins within that 4 Division 1 games and talk a bit about the team, how it plays, and whether or not you guys should invest in this. Now, before we get into the gameplay, if you want to send your team into me, twitter.com/NepentheZ, send me your foothead link, send me your EA Sports link with the actual team so I can see things like chem styles and player instructions and such. Or just if you want to tweet me a picture of your team as well, that'd be totally fine. But this is the end of the squad builder, guys. Let's get into the gameplay. Okay, guys, so into the gameplay we go. And the first opponent we come up against has got a 184 team. Of course, we are in Division 1. He's got a relatively cheap team other than the Lukaku and the Dele Alli. The rest of the team is actually remarkably cheap. Even that Moreno is only like 18,000 coins, I do believe. And as you would have heard probably from like the intro a little bit, the first game here that we play and the second game that we play, I completely forgot to put on chem styles and my player instructions, and it had a massive effect. I'm not saying it was the difference. I'm not saying, oh, if I had chem styles and whatnot, I would have won the 2 games that I lost. But what I am saying is that if like the team felt crap, and you can see there after I conceded the goals, I actually was just interested to look at the match stats because I felt like I'd been dominating, and I had been dominating. So I was really frustrated to concede that goal. I end up going into the second half, going ultra attacking. I changed a few things in the actual custom tactics at half time, and I got really unlucky to concede a second goal from Lukaku there. The deflection let it go in. You know, it was just unlucky. It was just a game that was just a bit of a mess. I should have paid more attention myself, and what you'll see here from the match highlights was a couple of the chances that I had that didn't go in. You can see there my opponent had a lot of shots, I had a lot of possession, and I'll show you the reason why he had a lot of shots in a second. But you can see here right early on, 10 minutes in, Dele Alli really should be scoring that. Lovely like fake shot to get there. Cuadrado here steals the ball from the guy 14 minutes in, gets in behind. He doesn't even get close to hitting the target. Such a poor shot. And then one of the next best shots. Now, this is Dele Alli with 84 shooting, and he's got a chem style that improves his shooting massively. Those crossbody keeper shots are the bread and butter, and you'll see right at the end there, Costa's goal and Ruffier made 2 saves late on. The reason why obviously my opponent got a lot of chances late on was due to the fact that I was ultra attacking and I was just getting hit on the counter. So after that first game, I kind of sat there and thought this team feels... I actually was sitting there thinking, okay, maybe I shouldn't make a video on this team because it feels sluggish, it feels pretty crappy. The players aren't doing what I would expect them to be doing. I couldn't get Aubameyang into the game, I couldn't get my 2 attackers into the game. And then it was only through this game here, the second game, as we actually take the lead there with Aubameyang, that I sat there and thought, like, I kept seeing my 2 fullbacks like way up the field, and I was like, why aren't they staying back? Well, the reason being because I didn't set the settings to make them stay back. And again, it's not necessarily an excuse that will change the gameplay. I'm not saying for a second that if I had my settings how I should have had them, that I would have won this game. I may have lost it by even more. But I mean, look at that. Look, what is Ruffier doing? The ball hits Walker, I think, on the foot, and anyway, Walker should clear it. But Ruffier punches it into the goddamn net. Look at this. It hits Walker. Ruffier's there. What are you doing? Just either catch it or bat it away. You don't need to punch it into the net. I talked about this I think at the start. I definitely talked about it in the outro of this video. Ruffier is utter garbage. Of all the players in this team, do not buy him. Find somebody else. I actually think this team is really good. The first game, I kind of controlled the game for large parts, but conceded 2 counter-attack goals. You know, there's not going to be many teams where you win every single game all the time. Although with one of the earlier best teams in FIFA, we actually did win 4 out of 4 Division 1 games with one of them, and 3 wins and a draw with the other one. And with this team, although we're going to be picking up a couple of losses, it's genuinely, in my opinion, and through my gaming experience with FIFA, it's due to my due to my lack of changing the chem styles and the well, chem styles not so much like previously because of the glitch, the chem glitch, but definitely the player instructions. So we end up losing that game 4-3. It was actually a narrow, close-fought game. You can see there I created a lot of chances. My opponent had also a lot of chances, but again I felt like there was an edge missing. So for this game here, I changed my player instructions. I put chemistry styles on. It's a really nice team. Benzema and Lacazette up front is just phenomenal. He's got the informed Ben Arfa. He's got a great midfield with like Matuidi, Schneidlin, Sissoko and Ribery there. I wasn't too sure about Sissoko, but literally instantly into this game, this team felt fire. It just felt so much better. I had players in positions that I knew they should have been. They just seemed to be like a lot cleaner on the ball. Their position was a lot better. Their movement was a lot better. The defense was far more sturdy. And I know a lot of people might look at this team, and as I mentioned at the start, you know, having 9 outfield players on high attacking work rate could be problematic. But when you set the settings to stay back while attacking, which I did for the fullbacks, which I did for the centre mid, for Cesc Fabregas, it makes a big difference, and it did make a big difference. And we end up going 1-0 up quite early on. We conceded a goal after 10 minutes. Really nice finish as well. We cut inside with Lacazette, slams it home. I get really lucky to get the ball back there with Marco Royce to go 2-1 up. And pretty much after I went 2-1, I kind of like assumed control of the game here. Thiago there steals the ball in centre midfield. Aubameyang lays it off into Cesc Fabregas. The fake shot, the actual shot. What a goal from Cesc. 20 minutes in, we find ourselves 3-1 up. And I was literally sitting there, like the first 2 games, I was getting tilted. I was getting typical FIFA tilted. I was like, what? Like, why? What's going on? Am I just? Maybe I'm just not the player I thought I was. And then as soon as I changed things and came into this game, it was like, yep, that's, you know, this is it. This is where home is. This is what FIFA should be. The game felt better. It felt faster. It felt cleaner. The passes were connecting. The shots were doing what I expected them to do. And there's an argument to be made that maybe the first 2 games I came up against better opponents and the second 2 games I came up against worse opponents. That, you know, that would be a fair assumption. But regardless of winning or losing the games, it was about the feel of the game, and the game just felt better. So I was very happy that we got into this game here, and after just 37 minutes, I was putting this guy to the sword, man. You can see 37 minutes in, 5 goals scored. Yeah, I've conceded a couple of goals, but I was having fun with FIFA here, so it didn't really matter to me. Thiago here scoops the ball up, hits it on the left foot, banging goal. 6-2 after 42 minutes, and then I think into the second half, yes, 57 minutes in now. Aubameyang, the fake shot, couple of step overs, turns back, finds Cuadrado. Cuadrado shoots, it gets deflected. Marco Royce manages to keep it in, plays it on the edge of the box to the runner misses it. Ball comes back into Aubameyang, drag back, you can see he's shielding, drag back, fake shot, gets into the space, shoots and scores. 7-2 after 60 minutes. And that is where the opponent decided he had had enough. You know, that could have been 10. That's a Division 1 game. Division 1, and I've popped 7 goals past him in 60 minutes. The team, and I'm like I say, I've reiterated like 4 times, and I apologise if I'm going over old ground, but the team, after I changed those player instructions and put chem styles on them, felt a million times better. Just an absolute million times better. The team just felt clean, it felt good, it felt strong. And then we came up against this guy here. He's got a weird team. His team name is Shut Up. His abbreviation is Shush. He's got this team in Division 1, and I thought I'm fucked. I thought I'm fucked, because if he's got this team in Division 1 and he's got a team like an aggressive team name, an aggressive abbreviation, he's probably just going to be really, really good and actually smack me. Because why else would you come into Division 1 with that team? However, 30 minutes into the game, Aubameyang scores the first goal. Just 3 minutes later, Aubameyang picks up the loose ball again, threads it through to Fabregas, left foot finesse shot from him, puts it in the back of the net. We go 2-0 up, and pretty much at this point, I was way in control of the game, and I actually messaged the guy after the game and said, hey, like what division are you in? Like, what's going on? And it turns out he was in Division 1, and he said that he was just playing with a pack-pulled team. So I don't know, take from that what you will, but Marco Royce there, lovely little bit of work. Ball roll past the defender, stabs the ball into the back of the net to make it 4-0 after 40 minutes. We still got time for a couple of goals in this game as well. My opponent steals the ball there with Welbeck, plays it down through to Sterling. Sterling gets in behind the defence, shoots. David Luiz heads it out. Wanyama is there. Victor Wanyama shoots and scores. And a nice left-footed finish from him. But in the 90th minute, 4-1 was the score. I've got Cuadrado here getting into the space. Managed to evade a couple of tackles. Goes across goal. I actually shot that for some reason. He just stabbed at it. Didn't really shoot it properly. And there was Aubameyang to tap that one home. So 5-1 the final score. We end up only getting 2 wins out of the 4 games. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the team was really good. In the 2 games after I did change the settings, I felt like this team was remarkable. But that is the end of the gameplay, guys. Let's go and check the stats. Okay, guys, so that was the gameplay. And as you can see by the gameplay, the first 2 games we lost. The second 2 games we won comfortably. And I mean, like, comfortably. I made a huge error. The first 2 games, you're actually going to see the intro of this video after I played the games as well, and you'll see why in the intro, but you would have already known that by the time you're watching this, the outro. After the first 2 games, I completely forgot chemistry styles, and I completely forgot to do my player instructions, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong. Like the team that I got sent from X2Cars, it's on foothead, so there's no Jesus Christ, that car is loud. There's no chem styles on there, and there's no player instructions, so I just did what I felt was best, which is what you see on the screen now. And I found, like, the first 2 games, I was like, damn, this midfield is just crap. Like, it's just trash bags. Like, I don't know what's wrong with it. The problem is, you've got medium on Thiago, you've got high medium on Fabregas, and high medium on Ali. So everyone was basically pushed forward except Thiago out on that side, which was just leaving me massively vulnerable for counterattacks, especially considering the pace of this midfield isn't exceptional. Only Dele Alli has good pace. Fabregas at 68 and Thiago at 72 are a bit low. So when I got caught with possession of the ball in my opponent's third, just a counterattack cost me every time. And I narrowly lost the first game. I narrowly lost the second game, and I couldn't figure out what was going wrong. So as soon as I changed my player instructions and my chemistry styles, it's just a completely different team. And based on the gameplay of the first 2 games, you'd say actually this team is pretty bad. But based on the gameplay of the second 2 games, you'd think actually this team is exceptional. And it played really well. The only one thing that I hated about this whole team was Ruffier. He is garbage. Like, I mean proper garbage. He's absolutely trash bags. I would not recommend him. I would recommend Julio Cesar, any other Serie A goalkeeper, any other Brazilian goalkeeper that's got an informal or is high rated. Take them instead, because Ruffier is garbage. Now, in terms of the actual team, Ruffier did nothing in the 4 games. Kyle Walker got 1 assist in the 4 games and is always an incredible player. Like, that 90 pace is just too much with that 80 physical. Thiago Silva and David Luiz, both 4 games, no goals, no assists, no yellows, no reds, nothing. They both played pretty decent. I personally wouldn't go for David Luiz. I don't really like him very much. And having like the work rates of these 2 centre-backs, again, before I actually did anything with the team, because what I do in my personal instructions, which you'll see in the intro, I set my back 4 to stay back while attacking, I set one of my centre-mids to stay back while attacking, I set my 2 wingers to get in behind, and I set my striker to target man or get in behind, depending on who the striker is. Now, what we're looking at here is a defence that has high attacking work rate, high attacking work rate, high attacking work rate, and high attacking work rate. And whilst that's not too relevant in the grand scheme of things, when you've got a slow, high attacking work rate midfield and a full high attacking work rate defense, it really causes issues. So after I set Alaba and Kyle Walker to stay back while attacking, the defense felt way more solid. Once I changed in midfield, it felt way more solid. Thiago there, 4 games, 2 goals, 1 assist. Fantastic performance from him over the 4 games. David Alaba did pretty much nothing over the 4 games other than be the defender that you wanted him to be. Fabregas as well, 4 games, 2 goals, 1 assist. I don't actually think I scored in the first game. I think I lost 2-0. But I had a lot of chances, so most of these stats are actually from 3 games, because the first game they didn't do anything. And then Dele Alli, only the 1 goal in 4 games. One of the reasons why I picked this team is because I like the look of Dele Alli. I thought he might be really fun to play with, but he's actually just not. I thought the fact that he's 6'2" with 84 physical, good passing, good dribbling, 3-star skill moves, for me, that's everything I look for in a centre midfielder, in a, you know, especially a defensive-minded centre midfielder. But for some reason, he was sluggish on the ball. His passing was really weak. For a guy with high attacking work rate, he didn't break forward very much after I set the player instructions. Like, he was up the field a lot, but he didn't get into like intelligent positions. He was always in like stupid areas. So I didn't really like Dele Alli in this team. Fabregas I thought was fantastic. Thiago, I'm not a huge fan of Thiago, but he actually played alright. You know, 4-star skill moves is very nice. Medium, decent for a centre midfielder. His passing and dribbling are solid. His pace is alright, and you know, his finishing is good enough for a centre midfielder. Then you come up to the attack. I was really disappointed with Cuadrado. Only the 2 assists in 4 games, and I would have showed you a highlight from the first game where I got him through on goal, clean through, no pressure, keeper's in a good spot for an attacker, hit that finesse shot to the near post, and it went like 40 yards wide. It was crazy bad. Like, he is just bad. I thought he would have been a lot better than he was. That medium-high work rate doesn't really suit me. Even though I set him to get in behind, he didn't really seem to do so. He seemed to drift wide a lot. I didn't really like that, and you can see by the stats in the 4 games, considering how many goals we scored in actually the 2nd, 3rd and 4th game, because we scored a lot of goals, he just didn't do too much. And then Marco Royce did decent. I don't know how many of these are from his first 4 games, because I played with Royce and Alaba in a previous The Best Team in FIFA, hence the reason they already have stats. But in the 8 games he's played for me over those 2 The Best Team in FIFA's, 4 goals and 3 assists from a left forward is solid. And then the star man was Aubameyang. Like, he's just unbelievable. He is just unbelievable. 4 games, 7 goals, 4 assists. And again, bear in mind, not a single goal in that first game, which means in 3 games he scored 7 goals and got 4 assists. That's 11 goal contributions in 3 games. That's absolutely outstanding. Even in 4 games, like 11 goal scoring 11 like goal contributions in 4 games. That's almost 3 per game. That's spectacular. What would you expect more from Aubameyang? I mean, if he had 4-star skill moves, that would be brilliant, but he's just so good. He's so quick. His finishing is so clean, and he was just the absolute superstar. I think the best 3 players on this team were probably Aubameyang, Royce, and in spite of what the graphic overlay said, Fabregas is probably like the 3rd best player in the team, and Ruffier shit. If I had to change some things about this team, I would get rid of Ruffier, I would swap out Cuadrado for Willian, and I would put a different midfield, probably Ramirez actually. Like, Ramirez would suit this perfectly, which means Kyle Walker would be off chem, but I would prefer to play Kyle Walker off chem and have Ramirez in there than have both of these guys on chem. But this, guys, is going to be the end of the video, so if you have enjoyed this, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.